I remember the exact moment the laughter slipped out of me, sharp, sudden, and utterly uncontrollable. It wasn't the laughter of amusement, it was something else, something colder. Because across from me, my father sat grinning like a man who had just won. "You should thank us," he said, swirling his tea like a man toasting his own cleverness. "Your money has secured your brother's future. That's what family does. Sacrifice." He said sacrifice as if it meant something noble, as if stealing 10 years of my work, every cent I had saved, was an act of love. I watched his lips move, my mother nodding beside him like an obedient shadow. I felt my heart hammer once, hard. Then it stopped caring. That's when I laughed. Because the truth was, they had no idea what they'd actually taken. 10 years ago, I was naive enough to believe blood meant loyalty. I worked through college, built a small real estate consultancy from scratch, saved every dollar with a single dream: to buy my own house. Independence. A place where I wouldn't have to hear my father's constant lectures about family duty. He called it ambition without gratitude. I called it survival. My younger brother, Ahmed, was the opposite: charming, lazy, entitled. The kind of son my parents worshipped. They saw him as the future. I was the worker who funded it. When I told them about the savings account I'd built, my father clapped me on the back. "A good man always provides for family," he said. I thought it was pride. It was actually inventory. The discovery came quietly, like all betrayals do. A call from the bank. An unusual withdrawal of $390,000. Joint account. Authorized signature? My father's. I remember holding the phone, my knuckles whitening. The air around me thinned. I asked the manager to repeat the name, even though I already knew. When I confronted them, they didn't deny it. My mother wept. My father smiled. "You're too soft, too trusting," he said. "But don't worry, it's for a good cause, Ahmed's business. You'll thank us later." He said it with that smug finality that made every word feel like a slap. In that moment, something inside me didn't break, it went silent. I didn't shout, didn't demand it back. I simply looked at him and said, "You're right, it's done." He thought that was surrender. It was the start of my plan. I knew exactly what they had done, but what they didn't know was what they had taken. That account wasn't my real nest egg. It was the surface layer, the visible bait. The true funds, the actual $1.2 million I had built through property flips and silent partnerships, were sitting quietly in offshore accounts under a holding name my father couldn't even pronounce. The $390,000 he stole was never meant to buy a house. It was meant to buy proof. Proof of his greed. Proof of how far he'd go if he thought I was helpless. So I played along. I congratulated Ahmed on his new business, even helped him design the logo, smiled at the launch party, toasted his success. Every smile I gave was a quiet calculation. Ahmed's company was built on that stolen money, which meant every asset, every document, every signature tied back to theft and to my father's authorization. I made sure of it. I helped them register the business under my own consultancy's umbrella for legal convenience. Then I waited. The downfall came faster than I expected. 2 months later, I leaked a single document to a financial regulator, a transfer trail showing the funds moving from a joint savings account to a startup shell. Within weeks, the tax department froze their accounts. Ahmed's business was flagged for investigation. My father called me in panic. "You need to fix this," he barked. "You're the expert here. They're saying the funds were illegal." I kept my voice even. They were. "You talk like that to me. I'm your father." I smiled. "You were, until you signed that withdrawal slip." The day they lost everything was silent. No shouting, no tears. Just the sound of papers being stamped, their names being blacklisted from every credit institution. Ahmed's bright future dissolved overnight. My father, the proud patriarch, had to sell the house to cover the penalties. My mother called me, whispering that they were moving in with relatives. I didn't respond, because there was nothing left to say. People ask me if I regret it. I don't. Revenge isn't about making them feel pain. It's about restoring balance. They took from me thinking I was a fool. I gave them the rope to hang their own illusions. That night, as I moved into my new apartment, a quiet, sunlit place by the water, I poured myself a glass of whiskey. I looked out the window and whispered, "You took the wrong bait." Then I laughed again. This time, it wasn't cold. It was free.